Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade for Celebrity Page, and I'm welcoming a brilliant young actor. He's joining me to talk about his new role in Homeland, which premieres this Sunday, January 15th. We're talking all about it and much more, so get ready for a great time. Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. All right, Jay Mallory, we're just talking about other busy actresses and actors, but you're pretty busy yourself, and you're on one of the biggest shows on TV. It's coming back. I was just telling you, I interviewed the whole cast of Homeland, and you've got a pretty big deal part in it, and things are good, I think, then, right? Like
Things are really
things are
good.
not all that bad.
Not at all. No.
Talk to me about Homeland. What are you going to be doing? How are you going to be just confusing everybody on that show?
Yes, that's what we do. My character, his name is Sekou Ba. He's a Muslim, a devout Muslim, and of African Nigerian descent. And he is a truth teller. He tells both sides of the story, so-called deemed terrorists, what they are, what America thinks terrorists are. And he makes these videos, and apparently the government thinks he's inciting people to violence, when really he's just telling both sides of the story. And so that causes some confusion, and then Carrie comes in and tries to save him.
Talk about relevancy, right? Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't find a more appropriate time for this.
Ripped from the headlines. Yeah.
Talk to me about being part of a show that has that type of touch, that relevant touch to topics that are so important globally today.
Really, it's about, to me, as the actor, it's giving me a sense of responsibility. It's giving, I believe that each role I get, each of these roles I'm supposed to create a voice or a platform and really speak and shine light on that character or that sector. And this is, Muslim and Islam, and what the media plays into fear and dispelling that fear. And, this political climate we're in, it's about really being as truthful and honest and telling the truth of who this character is and what his point of view is. And so it's amazing to get that platform and really tell the truth.
As a young actor, we were just talking about Quantico because I was
Yes.
talking to the cast this morning, and another show you were on. When you get to join these types of behemoth shows that have these massive followings, I mean, Homeland, you talk about one of the biggest shows on television and has been now for, I believe, 6 seasons. This is season 6. As a young actor, isn't it crazy to you? Is it mind-blowing to be part of projects that have this much reach?
It is mind-blowing, but it's not surprising. This is what I always set out and intended to do in my career, is to be an advocate and tell real stories and be a storyteller. And that's what the universe has provided. It's manifesting.
When's the moment that you realize this is my profession? This is what I want to do with the rest of my life?
I was 3.
Get out of here.
No, seriously. I kid you not. It's like how I knew at 3 years old, this is all I wanted to do.
Are there ever fears? This is such a tough industry. You're a working actor. That's already, you've made it. That's a success.
Right.
Were there ever moments where you thought, okay, it's not going to happen? My dream is not happening.
Doubt does creep in all the time, but you do have to know that if this is what you want to do, it will happen. And it's all about patience. If anything that I've learned throughout my career, and it's not an overnight success type of thing, and I'm still growing and building, is that everything happens for a reason and everything comes to you when it's supposed to. And so you really do have to have patience, and it is a journey. It really is a journey. And when it's time for you to tell the story of Sekou or Charlie on Quantico, then it's your time. And you just got to be in the game to win it and be ready.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, you also have an independent movie coming out,
That's
which
right.
got rave reviews at South by Southwest. Talk to me all about the movie.
Yeah, so that movie's called From Nowhere, directed by Matt Newton. And again, I play another Muslim. I don't know how I got I don't know how I got, into this realm, but I accept it. And like I was saying, there's a responsibility to tell these stories truthfully and honestly. And so From Nowhere is about 3 illegal immigrant kids that are fighting for political asylum. And that was like I read the script in one sitting, and it took me like 2 hours to read, and I was like, I have to do this role. I have to tell this story. And I didn't know that there's so many people in New York City around us that are illegal, and you don't really get to learn what their fears are and how much privilege that we actually have. Through that process, I learned how much privilege I have, even as just a black man in America, but I have a certain amount of privilege that illegal immigrants don't have. And these are smart kids, and they're fighting. And and here's the thing, they didn't know that they were illegal until like their junior year. It wasn't until they were like, oh, I want to go to college. Oh, well, you got to sign up for scholarships and you got to give us your social security number. Oh, about that, you don't have one. Yeah.
Whoops.
And it's like, and so what happens is it changes your perception of identity. It's like, who am I now? I always thought I was this American, who could do anything. And then you learn, no, you can't even call the cops if something were to happen to you.
How different is it when you're filming a major mainstream show, an enormous production like Homeland or Quantico, versus doing a small indie? How different is it?
It's more personal. I think the movies are definitely more personal. There's a lot more time and attention, and then you get what's called these actor directors. Well, Homeland was really good about having actor directors. They're really good, but Matt Newton was able to, because he was an actor himself for a long time, but it's just a little bit more precious, and you have more time. When it's Quantico or Homeland, it's TV, and time is money. Like we gotta get the shot, and you
better get your lines
get the lines right, hit that mark, and do your thing. So, I've been very blessed to have both experiences. I definitely prefer film sometime only because it's a little bit more precious, and you get to really take your time and you have these film auteurs that are really trying to express a vision that you don't always really get the opportunity to do in TV, and the TV it's a bigger machine, it's a bigger machine, and it's not always as precious. But TV now is, if you were ever going to be on TV, now is the time.
I mean, we're talking every A-list movie star.
Yes.
Julia Roberts is coming to TV.
Yes.
Everybody is fighting. Why do you think? What is it so like? What's TV? Why has it become this thing?
Well, I just started watching Taboo last night with Tom Hardy, and
He's the man, by the way.
It's one of my favorites. I think it's because there's more creativity, and artists get to be the producers on these shows, and they get to tell the stories creatively the way that they feel they should be told. Well, when in previous times you didn't really get to do that. And each of these networks, FX, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, they are willing to go the distance that some of the networks aren't really willing to do. And I think everyone's trying to catch up to HBO, because HBO of Sopranos, they sort of set the platform. So it's like, oh, I can be as creative and go as hard and against the wall as I possibly want to and can. So it's like, it's very attractive. And then movies, the film industry, it's not turning around as it used to. Like profits, box office, if you're not in Marvel or anything like that, it's
hard.
It's hard. You're not making the money anymore, So it's like, what am I going to get a better investment in?
Speaking of Marvel, there's a show coming out called The Defenders on Netflix, and you might appear on that show, I was reading. So it's pretty cool. You're to be part of the Marvel universe.
Yes.
Insane.
It's incredible. It is a dream. I grew up reading comic books and stuff like that, and I'm a fan of the whole Luke Cage series, and so
another guy who's the man, by the way. Mike is the man.
Mike Coulter is the man, and we also went to Rutgers. I went to Rutgers. He also went to Rutgers, not at the same time, but to have that, to work with him and then have that like little banter, and it was good. It was. I had a great experience. We shot our first night on election night, so that was interesting.
Speaking of election night, we have another monumental moment coming up right now, and something happened this week that was moving to me. We got to see, in my opinion, regardless of which way you lean politically, one of the great, most elegant and eloquent speeches any person has ever given with President Obama. Talk to me about your thoughts on the farewell speech and what we saw and just seeing him leave office.
Like you said, no matter which way you lean, I think that we just have to acknowledge how graceful this man has been throughout his presidency. And he's been a true diplomat, and it's not, I imagine whenever he writes that book about what really went down, if that ever happens, I think we'll really be able to understand that it wasn't so easy and that he had a lot of opposition. And I am going to miss this president. I'm going to miss Michelle Obama and just what he represents. I think yes, not everything went the way that we all would have liked during his presidency, but there were really good things and really bad things. But I think that we can all agree he was a kind person and he represented hope. He was the manifestation of true hope in this country. And that's going to be missed. I'm going to miss him.
You're on set on Homeland, and you're looking around, and you see Mandy Patinkin, F. Murray Abraham, Claire Danes, who's won her share of awards and become one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. What's going through your head? How do you soak all that in? Mandy is a legend. I mean,
Yes.
people like young people don't understand the career that guy's had. F. Murray Abraham won an Oscar. I'm 38, right when I was born. Think about that. When you're around that, is it crazy? Like, how do you soak it all in?
One, you're elated by it. You're like, wow, I'm in the room. But then again, it's like, this is not surprising. I wanted this. So quickly, you have to reach that level. You have to, you're around these brilliant artists and you're like, okay, this is only going to elevate my artistry. And I want to be in the game. I want to be in the game and I want to become a legend. I'm going to become a legend just like these. It's not a mistake that I'm here with these people right here. So let's play.
Who do you look up to?
Mandy Patinkin.
That's an easy
F.
one.
Murray Abraham. I look up to the Denzels and the Anthony Hopkins, but right now, like I love these character actors and multidimensional actors like Christoph Waltz and Domhnall Gleeson and Peter Skarsgård, just because they are able to transform and really tell these stories in such magnificent ways, and they're just legendary, and a lot of them come from the stage, which I come from the stage, and Denzel is all about that. He's all about.
He just converted a play into a movie that's going to be multiple Oscar nominations.
Successfully did it. Yeah.
He's winning Viola an Oscar. He's getting an Oscar nomination, and the movie's getting nominated. I mean, that's a hard thing to do with Broadway. Having done Broadway, what's the difference? I'm always curious because we know the easy answer, which is you're projecting to a crowd. There's a crowd interaction.
Right.
But for you, what's the difference?
The difference for me is that there is more attention to detail, and you're always asking questions, and you do get to go back and try again. In film and TV, you get that shot and that's it. That's history right there. But theater, you're responding to the audience, you're responding to your partners. It really brings you back to the craft of acting, because you really have to listen and you really have to respond in the moment. And all these different things are being thrown at you, and you really have to, it just shows your craftsmanship. And I always appreciate that. I definitely want to continue to do theater as I'm growing in my film and TV career.
When you look at a career, I think to myself, we were just talking about Priyanka Chopra and how the magnitude of success that she has achieved so quickly.
Yep.
But there's work ethic behind it. There's talent behind it. There's decisions to take certain roles, to do certain things. When you start looking at your career and where you want to be 5, 10, 15 years down the line, do you already start imagining those choices? Like, do you have in your head, this is the type of actor I want to be, this is the type of movie selection I want to make? Is that already pre-planned, or as a young actor, do you say, I just want a job, I want a job, I want a job? Like, how does it all work when you're looking forward?
I'm very selective in everything I do right now. I can't afford to just take anything and everything. Each of the characters, it's not a mistake that I am, telling the stories of Quantico and telling the stories of Homeland and From Nowhere. When I imagine myself as an actor very young, I imagine telling stories, and even if it's comedy, but just sort of being legendary in each of those things, and telling really specific stories, not just, I need a job. Each thing is going to be a platform for learning, and different things come in your career as they come, but I don't take any and everything. I'm very selective, because I understand that my image and what it is that I personally represent is going to affect someone. And I want to be the Sidney Poitier. That's who that is what I'm looking at. The Sidney Poitiers, the Harry Belafontes, the people the Ozzie Davises, the people that did work and it moved you. And you were like, that person was about something. It wasn't just, yeah, I'm into I love fashion, I like nice things and stuff. But at my core, I'm about something. There's something in me. I'm about humanity.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was just having a conversation with another host in this city who will remain nameless. And it's funny because I always get the sense from this person that they're not in this for the reasons that I'm in this. Like my goal is to always become the best at my craft that I want to become. I got the sense from this person that they are about the exposure and the fame. Do you get driven nuts like I do when you see people who are in it for the wrong reasons, or what I view as the wrong reasons?
Yeah, I don't know if it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts when, look, if that's what you want to do, if that is your intention, you go for that, just as long as you can go to sleep comfortably at night. I know I can if I haven't put my 100% into it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I do anything that betrays my inner self, then, what am I doing? What am I here for? I have purpose. It's more than just me. It's not, I think that's ultimately, it's not just about me. It's about us, bringing us all together, telling these stories. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about me.
You're awesome, man. Congratulations on all the success. Before I let you go, what's everybody getting with season 6 of Homeland?
Woo! You're getting another roller coaster. Yeah, I think this is like like the best roller coaster ride you've ever had. Like it's dynamite. Yeah.
That show is written so well, and that's the reason it's in season 6 and still going strong, man. So congratulations.
Thank you.